Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new edition of the Triple Trio, our weekly look at all things Hong Kong racing, and we do it with the best form analyst in the business, this guy in Clint Hutchison, and also the Hall of Fame jockey and that guy in Raymond Shane Dye. Hello Hutch.
Hello Richo, really looking forward to the show. We have a great meeting to preview this weekend. We've got the Classic Mile, which is the first leg leading towards the Hong Kong Derby. That's the jewel in the crown in Hong Kong, amongst other good races. It's going to be a cracker. And a lot to discuss as well following last week's defeat of Lucky Sweynesse. More on that later.
Yes, and very well predicted by you. We might fluff your pillows in a moment. Raymond Shane Dye, the Golden Boy, Billy the Kid. They're just two of his nicknames. He's got five. Hello, mate.
Hello, boys. Well done. You were right about Lucky Sweynesse. But, no, it's been a good week, a nice meeting on Wednesday night. And, of course, it was a great day's racing last week. But, Richo.
Yes.
I was a little bit disappointed in you last week.
Why is that, my friend?
I just want to play you something where you had a go at me about no pants.
RS, are you a shoes on sort of guy? I know you're a pants off sort of guy.
Please.
Yeah, cutting shapes.
Oh,
Now,
hello.
no pants. He's got boxers on. And you're a happily married man walking around a studio with boxers on. I'm a single guy and can do whatever I want. And that you're calling the kettle, I can't believe it, Richo, having a go at me, because I find these things out about you. So you're a no pants guy.
Very good. They were shorts, mate. They weren't boxers. They were beautifully tailored shorts, but it was hot in Melbourne.
Yeah, it was.
So what do you got on now, Richo?
Oh, no, I got pants on.
Well done.
I learnt my lesson. Very good pickup by you. Jeez, he's good, isn't he?
He's sharp. He doesn't miss a thing.
I feel like he's getting a little help from someone in the cloud somewhere up there. No names. Hey, let's look back on the week that was from a tipping point of view from this guy and that guy.
Princess Keller's been the leading mare for the past couple of seasons, and she's really good. I had a bit to do with her as well when I was in South Africa, and she's a smart horse.
Princess Keller kicked 2 lengths in front. Raskova second, but this is the reigning horse of the year. Princess Keller, another grade 1 ticked off the list.
This would be the best at the meeting. Gorgeous win.
The leader is Gorgeous Win, though. 4-timer coming up for Purton. Gorgeous Win beat 80 Light Years, Colourful Emperor and Laugh Tail.
In this race, he's going to go around $4 probably, or $5 or something now. And if Zach rides him a little bit quieter, he's going to be a different horse.
Green and white just in front of Sweetbriar. He legends through now. Green and white. Purton staring at 6. Purton has 6. What a day.
Damn right he was a different horse, Shane. You touched on that and just ridden nice and quiet. Didn't he just roll into the race when he built towards the outside? You just thought, get in the queue.
Yeah, no, he gave him a chance last week where the start before he didn't. He rode really well the other day, Zach. He rode sensational. Best meeting I've seen him ride at for the whole season. Every horse he just rode perfectly. He wasn't aggressive out of the gates. The horse he was aggressive on was Lucky Sweynesse, and he didn't go. It wasn't Zach's fault, it was the horse's fault, but every other horse he just gave a chance. The horse he won on off Tony Cruz was the same. The start before he rode it too close, Beto, what was it called?
Yep,
Beto. Rode it back where he had to be ridden. He's got to get back. The thing I'm noticing about Tony now is he was so aggressive on the horses before, but at present he's riding some of them back a bit, like the winner of Angus, Smart Beauty, which won, so it's good. Some of the horses now are being ridden correctly.
Yeah, okay, so a lot to reflect on, and we'll do that when we burst out of the gates in a moment. Huge show coming up. Ben Thompson has been announced with a short-term contract in Hong Kong, so we're going to catch up with Ben. Also catch up with Nicole Purton as we start to really dissect this 4-year-old series. Sweet in defeat, and of course, Genius or Slaughter. Votes everywhere for racing's greatest prize, the Idol, and a stack of winners. Let's burst out of the gates. We burst out of the gates and we start with the Group 1 last weekend, and this was highly discussed and hotly debated, Lucky Sweynesse. And just as a reminder, this is what Hutch said leading into last week.
Lucky Sweynesse, he's going to be a lot shorter than I think with the market than what I've got him. I think he might be vulnerable this time around, and I'll explain why shortly. The first 100 metres in this race will determine the winner, and I think Lucky Sweynesse is vulnerable. He's got a couple of horses around him in the map. Some Pack Food doesn't need to be that far back. A couple of these guys, if Jerry Chow wants to be not positive but just hold his spot, I think Lucky With You jumps a lot better. The issue for Zach with Lucky Sweynesse is he doesn't step great out of the gates. This is a bigger field now. There's more speed in the race. He could be locked away here, and if they take advantage of it early, he's not going to land in the dream spot, which he did in the Hong Kong sprint there, and other horses may. And I think how even the ranks are this year, it might bring him undone.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. And of course, it did bring him undone.
Yeah, he clearly had excuses. It did pan out that way. I mean, couple of things. Derek Leung, beautifully rated right on Victor the winner. Yeah. Didn't get the pressure from WizKid, but Lucky Sweynesse is the talking point. And Shane, this is what was a potential of happening. He doesn't have a lot of early speed. This part of the race where Hugh just got to his outside and held his running line outside of Lucky Sweynesse was key as well. He made sure that Zach couldn't push out, and once they formulated their spots in the run, he was in a world of pain.
Yeah, you were exactly right. What you said happened. It wasn't Zach's fault. Zach did nothing wrong on the horse. He just didn't go. He's actually looking for further, I reckon. I've always said that. I think he's a miler. I've always said that. But Clint, I still think his run, if you do it afterwards, his run was the best in the race. Like, he got pulling at the 1,000 to the 700, and he still finished off the fastest. So he hasn't gone bad. It was just that he didn't have any early speed, which you said.
Yeah, no, he was very good. It was just more the map with anything. Look, Taj Dragon was surprisingly good. Look at him there, right along Lucky Sweynesse. He gets held up. He also hit the line really well the last 200. I think Sun Pack Food, Jerry Chow dropped the ball. He was 1-1. He should have peeled at the 550. I think he runs second. Look at his last 200. He got back with the second best 200 of the race after being in the 1-1. That was ordinary from Jerry at a big price. It shows as well, Shane, when a horse with Victor the winner, when he gets his own way and gets that confidence up, if he gets a soft first half of the race, he's a tough one to beat as well.
Very hard, but he's got to get that soft lead, which he did. I think Derek rode a 22.95, and that's just walking. That's not going very fast. So those horses back had no hope. But it was a great ride. It was good to see. And, of course, he's done it before with Beauty Generation, 4 or 5 years ago, Derek.
Yeah, Zach commented as well that there was a few in there that shouldn't be there. I don't know about if that's right, because a lot of them did run well and beat him home.
Absolutely they did.
So I actually like the fact that we had a full field for a change.
Yeah,
I mean, often in these group races in Hong Kong, we've had 6, 7, 8 runners. It's been the same sort of horses going around. Thankfully, early in the season, we had Pierre Rung enter Taj Dragon in a good race out of the handicap, and he won it. And then, obviously, now it's encouraged more to have a crack at the title. So you're not getting everything, laid out for you. I mean, a lot of these times, Shane, it was sort of like, well, there's no betting. And it's a different ball game when you fill it up with horses. Okay, they can't all have great chances, but a lot of them justified being in this race.
Of course they did, and if you can get in a field, you can get in a field. It just suited Zach not having many runners, but unfortunately there was. He'll probably go now to the 1,400, and he's just going to be ideally suited. I think he's had 3 runs over 1,400 and won them all. That's going to be his test, the 1,400 next time, Group 1.
The other thing as well, which is a big positive, Richo, when you get a field like that of 14, and it's a good betting race. I know he started $1.30, Lucky Sweynesse, but it encourages more turnover on the race because it's directly linked to runners. So it's a shame it's kind of not overly pushed in Hong Kong because if you run out of the handicap, you get penalised for it. Now, if they can change that system somehow, I'm not sure. That's for the people that make the decisions, but I think encouraging bigger field sizes is a must.
You mentioned 1,400 metres for Lucky Sweynesse, and we know how talented he is at 1,200. And Shane said he's won a couple of times at the 1,400 metres. Could he even extend out to a mile if you run the lens over the G1 Gold Mine? Does that give us any sort of an idea that, could he be a really strong miler a little later in his career?
We've done the Group 1 Gold Mine on you. You go nothing past 110. That's your limit?
Complete nonsense. I was outstanding at 200 and average at 400.
Okay. But it's interesting with Lucky Sweynesse. He is a talking point. Shane, you might be spot on here. Big bubbles over the mile with this Sweynesse cross over the Red Ransom and Group 1 Gold Mine with all the analytics. This is a pretty good indicator that Lucky Sweynesse may well be even better suited over further. I know you've always felt that, Shane, and that would justify it.
I've always said that he's a miler. I've always thought that. Now, whether he is debatable. The other thing is, if Golden's 60's not around through injury, I don't know. Yous might know, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's the right time now to step him up to a mile.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a better time.
And
with
also,
no Golden 60.
maybe California Spangle, not quite the horse that he once was. I mean, Voyage Bubble's something pretty special, isn't he? But you know, the Golden Boy raises a good issue there.
Well, and Lucky Sweynesse is when J-Mac rode him last year and he clashed with Spangle. One of his best sort of closing sectionals was actually over 1400. So he saw it out strongly. He was dominant that day, and the mile, Shane, could be even easier for him than a strong run 12 because there's no pressure and you'll get into good rhythm.
Well, why I like him is because he can't get into a stride early. It takes him time. When he's going over a mile, he'll have that energy. He'll get into a stride without wasting energy. And I just think I've always thought he's a miler, that horse, but whether he is, we'll see.
Two-gun jockeys flexed their muscles in the last week, didn't they? Zach Purton on Sunday was breathtaking with 6. That was
awesome.
Unbelievable. And then Huey Bowman said, well, I can't match 6, but I'll give you 4 on a Wednesday night if you don't mind.
Which is, comparable, no doubt. But Zach, I couldn't agree more with what Shane said. He was in the zone on Sunday. That's the best piece of, collective riding he's put together for the season. And it told in the results, Shane. He was, a lot of these winners probably wouldn't have got there without the rides that he gave them.
Oh, no possible way they would have. He rode sensational. It's the best I've seen him ride in a long time. Like, he just gave every horse a chance, rode them where they should be. He was not aggressive. I'm just wondering whether the week before when James beat him in that 1,200 metre race when it was a match and he was aggressive and then he wasn't, whether that just made him switch something and say, I've got to change something here, because he definitely changed.
Yeah,
just sensational.
He was. And Hugh Bowman on Wednesday doing what Huey does.
Yeah.
Rides Happy Valley very well for someone who gets back in races and can. He's got a very good record there, and unfortunately he's got to cop 5 meetings, which he deserved, the 5 meetings, coming up soon. So he's going to be out for a while.
We don't like to see it because I love it when Hugh's riding at the meetings, and I think all the punters do. But you're right, Shane. I'll leave all the adjudication to you. It was an interesting one when he got suspended for the fall. I was going to make a couple of inquiries about that, and if that happens very often. But yeah, ultimately he got suspended for causing his own fall, which he's probably got to be a bit more careful.
It does happen, Clint. They will. I saw Basil Marcus one day at Happy Valley. Before the turn, he went where there wasn't a run, right? And he checked his own horse, and John Schreck gave him time, and he couldn't believe it, right? But he put himself in a dangerous position where he didn't need to. And not only that, it affected the other runners if he had a fall, and he didn't fall, but he could have. I was there, I was outside him, and I couldn't believe where he was trying to go. So I've seen it quite a few times where they will charge you for causing your own fall.
Yeah, so Hugh Bowman will be suspended from the 7th to the 13th of February. That's 2 meetings, and then another 3 meetings, 15th to the 22nd. So Hugh's just trying to adjust his style to Hong Kong racing, or just a couple of circumstances, made a couple of errors?
I think he was a bit stiff the other day. I mean, he was sort of angling off heels and he just clipped heels. But yeah, hey, that's the steward's decision, and happy to stick with it. But Vincent Ho's sidelines. Obviously, we have Hugh on the sideline. So it once again provides an opportunity for these other guys, and it has also provided an opportunity for a young lad to come to Hong Kong.
That's right. We'll chat to him in a moment in Ben Thompson. And as soon as Zach Purton hit the line in his 6th win, I put on our WhatsApp group, is that the most ever? And straight away the Golden Boy said, no. Joe Moreira with 8. I mean, that is quite breathtaking, Golden. Yeah,
it was amazing that day. All those efforts are great. Zach 7, there's nothing wrong with that. And 6, but the other day he was in the zone the other day. Every ride was just perfect. This first ride on Nicholson return, he just gave it a chance in the race. It was beautiful, and I watched him through the race and I thought, shit, if he rides like this, all of a sudden he's going to change. So it's very impressive.
Let's have a look at the championships at the moment and the update. Zach Purton, of course, clearly on top. 61, Karis Teaton, our man, 42. Hugh Bowman, also our man, at 34. Andrea Atzeni, and also Vincent Ho's on the sidelines. Pierre Ung has a 14 lead at the moment. So they look well and truly in control.
Yeah, they certainly do. And it'd be an amazing achievement if Pierre can keep this momentum going. And I think he will this weekend. You've got to stay tuned for all those thoughts.
Yeah, so that was also the news that Hutch just touched on, the short-term contract for young Ben Thompson. And he joins us now. Well, wonderful news that Group 1 winning jockey from Australia, Ben Thompson, will be given a short-term contract over in Hong Kong, and he joins us now. Ben, always great to chat to you, mate. Welcome to the Triple Trio, your weekly look at all things Hong Kong racing. You're now officially one of ours. Congratulations. What a great thrill for you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Richo. Thanks for having me, guys. It's been an extraordinary week to get the phone call. With the opportunity to ride in Hong Kong on a short stint. I think it's amazing, very surreal, but obviously over the moon to have the opportunity and very, very lucky.
And what was the reaction from your beautiful wife, Stephanie, and as Steph and Harry going with you?
They are coming along. She was in shock, pretty speechless like myself, but I'm so fortunate to have a wife that is as supportive as she is, and I guess given that we're in this exact same field with the same role, she understands the magnitude of having an offer from the Hong Kong Jockey Club. And when I gave her the news, it wasn't a matter of if I'm going or if we're going, it was a matter of when. So she got the wheels in motion very quickly, and I'm actually on the way to pick up a little boy's passport now. So we're all just about set.
Make sure he was smiling for the camera. Anyway,
he's a bit young for that.
I know, exactly. Those baby photos are hilarious. Hey, Ben, young lad like yourself as well to get this opportunity, that's amazing. But you do have some experience in Asia. Obviously, you rode in Singapore as well, so that might put a little bit of grounding into you going forward.
Yeah, I hope so, Clint. And, I spent 12 months in Singapore. The 2019 racing season, I was there, so from Jan to mid-December. It was extraordinary. I was 22 at the time, so fast forward 5 years to get this opportunity is amazing, and albeit to a different level and higher speed than the Hong Kong Jockey Club at least. I guess it's more so, I think, the experience of being out of my comfort zone. It was in some way it felt like starting a new job, going to Singapore, and I'm sure it's going to be, I presume it was much the same heading to Hong Kong. So at least I've had that experience, and also, it's not little things, but the aspect of taking care of rides myself rather than relying on an agent. We're fortunate enough to in Australia. So it's going to be, obviously an extraordinary opportunity. Something that all jockeys dream of or strive towards. So grateful that it's my next move.
Shane, advice for a young lad, because it can be quite testing for a young jockey to go over of Ben's age, but then again, he's married with a young one there, so that certainly, I think, will actually help, because a lot of the younger guys that go over there, it can be not easy to settle in. But what advice do you have for Ben?
Well, there's a couple of things. First thing is, when you get there, you're going to think it's very expensive. I always remember David Hayes telling me, I got there and I went shopping after 2 days to get things for my house. And I said, Hazy, I can't survive here. It's that dear. He said, mate, don't worry. After a month, you'll realise it's not much. And it's very true. So don't worry about when you get there and you spend money, because you'll get it back. That's the first thing. The second thing is, you got to save ground there, because the horses are so even, and you're not going to be on good horses. You're going to be on normal horses. It's all right when you're riding favourites all the time, covering ground. But when you aren't, if you want to ride winners, you've got to save ground, especially at Happy Valley. So you got to adapt and get into your mind. James McDonald did. He went there thinking he could cover ground, and he couldn't, and he adjusted. You just got to save ground and work hard. Track work is the major thing there. It's more important than race day. Track work. You've got to get to the track every morning. It's different to Australia. In Australia, you go to the track and you just ride horses at any time when they bring them out. Over there, you have a time every horse you work, and it's booked a day, 2 days before. So you line up about 4 horses every 15 minutes, one horse. I could fit 5 in an hour, sometimes 6 if I rushed. But it's interesting, and I'm glad you're going. And I see in your eye you got that glee. It's very exciting. And if it works, you've got no idea how much it'll change your life.
There's free advice for you, Ben.
Very much, Shane. I appreciate it.
And the really interesting point, and Ben, you'd be across it. Do you watch a lot of Hong Kong racing in the past? Have you been a slave to it on a Sunday afternoon?
I have. Shane, so Richo, obviously it can clash with meetings here on a Sunday, but unfortunate with the time difference, it can catch up. And also the Hong Kong Jockey Club website, super everything, sort of the click of your fingers. So, I'm more so like over time, you sort of away from watching the main races, feature meetings, and when Australians head over there to ride, I've been fortunate to have beers and good friends head over there, Mick D and John McNeil, so that's added the interest. And obviously the Australian flavour of Mark Newnham, I'd spend a little bit of time with. So I've always kept an eye on Hong Kong, but to a whole new level now, watching the races on Wednesday and catching up on Sunday's replays. So, just trying to do as much homework as I can without overloading myself before heading there. And we take off Wednesday, so it's coming around quick, but we're all very excited.
Mate, everyone knows how hard you work and how hard you try and everything you do, mate.
Best
you will be a success. Love to Steph and also to Harry. Simply, mate, good luck.
Thanks, Clint. Thanks, Shane.
Oh, fantastic. Ben Thompson, our very special guest, and great advice from the golden boy there. You can and that's what we love about Ben Thompson. You could just see him absorbing all that great info.
He's always spoken like an older head, hasn't he? He's always very professional. I think, it won't be easy to settle in for him, but he's a young up-and-coming rider. I mean, Zach Purton was a similar age. It took him a while to sort of adjust, when he went over there, and he came up from Queensland, Zach, and Ben's doing the same. So we wish him all the very best. I think he rides reasonably light too, which is
he certainly does. That's right. I mean, he rode Oakley Plate. He's an Oakley Plate winning jockey. He's a Group 1 winning jockey, but he also rides really, really light. I didn't break the news to him that part of our segment every week is Genius or Slaughter, that he needs to be very thick-skinned.
That's all right.
Because Raymond Shane might just cast his eye over a few rides. We thought we'd just keep that a little quiet.
That one quiet.
Let's have a look at our black bookers. We call them Sweet in Defeat.
They're off. And Sugar missed the start by 4 lengths. Then Dublin Star. Sugar fast buck, smart leader. Oversubscribed, lunges at the post. Missed. Sugar. That's a sweet win for Alfie Chan.
The Sid file is open and Hutchi jumps in it.
Yeah, there was a few from the last week. I had one from Wednesday and a couple from last week. And ICANN, of course. ICANN actually runs this weekend and looks a great chance on the backup. It's something that Pierung seems to be doing a lot of. And I noted, obviously, Zach Purton will be on board. Him, Patch of Theta, I think, is one that we'll take a look at. Country Dancer from earlier in the week as well. He was pretty game. He's lightly raced for John Size. He's not far off a win. I did like this run from Patch of Theta, however. This horse is knocking on the door for a win. The pace and general tempo of the race favoured Champion Instinct. They didn't go that hard. The eventual winner was 1-1-1, but I think in the 3-wide trail, Patch of Theta is just ready to win a race. He launched late. Look at the gap back to the rest of the field, and if he can draw barrier, Shane, I don't think he'll be too far off them, and he'll be winning very soon.
Yeah, they cleared out from the rest, and all of his runs have been good, Clint, the whole 3 of them.
Yeah, love it when we see that gap back to third.
Yeah.
It's one of those non-data form references that you always love.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Big gap.
One of your horses there, Clint, you haven't got long to follow on the show. I see he's backing up this weekend, ICANN.
Yeah, I looked at him last week.
Race 4, number 1, he is ICANN. Yeah, Zach Purton on.
It's an interesting race. There's a couple of horses there that have caught the eye lately. It's not straightforward. There's, I think, California Totality might even be in the same race, who also made the Sid file. And then we've got a horse like Skyheart, who really impressed with his debut. So that's an interesting race. A few decent chances there.
So a couple of cities going toe-to-toe on Sunday, and that's race 4, number 1, and race 4, number 8 to keep our eye on. That's our Sid file. Put them in your black book and keep them in mind into the future. Genius or Slaughter time.
The end across, answering the urgings of Shane Dye. Mannerism coming at him. Mannerism has got it. Daring tactics by Shane Dye. He's got Octagonal in full flight on the corner. Bold tactics by Shane Dye are going to pay off, and he pinches the Chipping Norton.
It's the Golden Boy's chance to cast his eye over all the great rides during the week. And who caught your eye, Golden?
I thought Angus on Smart Beauty. I thought it was outstanding ride. He drew the outside. He didn't try to go forward at any stage. He just rode him quiet and he went to the fence from an outside gate. Watch his hands. They don't move at all at any stage. So he's getting this horse to relax and, of course, to save energy. And he's just riding so well, this kid. And once he starts to learn to ride them back, he's on another level, and he is. Look here, he doesn't go round them. He saves ground. And he's very good on front runners, this kid, too. He rates them really well. He always gets them going slower than a lot of people think they're going. And, of course, then he can kick. But if you watch what I like about him in the straight, he doesn't panic at any stage. You see him here starting to come out. And this is Yui's fall where he switched across, I think, this race. There, he switches out and clips heels. But he comes out. Now, you remember, Richo, how this kid used to change hands and not hit a horse?
Yeah.
Like, you watch him here, how strong he is, and I've been saying this for a while. You got to hit them. Stop that. Watch here. Watch how strong he is. He lifts them late, and that's what won the race. And he's improving the kid, like riding them back, and that's a perfect ride from someone to ride a horse back. So I love that. Good on him, and he's going good, the kid.
That was a gun ride, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good.
Absolute gun ride. Who wasn't a gun ride?
Well, I'm going to put up sectionals after this. This was Jerry. He should know how fast he's going. It was on Special Hedge, 2,000 metres. He comes out of the race and goes forward. This is fair enough, and across to the fence. But if you have a look at the sectionals up the top, how fast they go, Zach wins the race back. He must be laughing here because 5 of them are going. I understand he's got to go to the front. That's okay. But as soon as he gets into the back, he's got to back the pace off because he's used too much energy. Yeah. This horse has not raced beyond 1,800, and he's going good, this horse. He's going to 2,000 for the first time, so he's got to be suspect at the 2,000. Now he's crossed. Now he should back the pace off, right? But he just lets it run. He doesn't care, and he just lets it run. Now, if you have a look at the sectionals up the top, for the first bit to here, he's gone like over 2 seconds faster than normal for a Class 4. Well, that equivalents to 15 lengths, and this is why the horse has stopped. He hasn't gone bad, that horse. He'll turn it round next start and go a lot better, I would say. And, of course, Zach sacked back. They all come from back in the field and ran on, and those up on the pace stopped because they just went too fast. So you've got to realise how fast you're going.
And that's the key, isn't it, Shane, is actually having that clock in your head that you were better at it than most.
Well, you got to, and the easy way is to practice and you learn. And I used to have a dinner trick.
You showed us in Hong Kong and you nailed it too. You still got it.
Yeah.
It used to always get free dinners. You bet someone that I can count to 1,000 with my eyes closed on a stopwatch, a second either way. And they go, what, a second? I go, you do it. And they do it, and they're about 6, 7 out, and then you do it. And because you learn racing, it's so easy because when you're riding horses, there's poles. And what I mean by a pole is there's a pole every 200 metres. So you know that 3/4 pace is 15 seconds to the furlong. So as a kid, I used to go and a 1 and a 2 and a 3. And I'd know 15 seconds because my boss used to say, go 1,200 metres 3/4 pace. Right? Yep. So you had to count, and then you feel how a horse is going. So what Jerry should be going is if he can't feel how fast the horse is going, he should be counting in his head, I'm going too fast.
So as a result, Jerry gets a little clip across the chops, but will that be reflected when we see votes for the idol? And this idol, Hutch, has grown to such an enormity.
You're kidding.
That we have had to build its own sting. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back and enjoy. Not all superheroes wear capes, Shane, but you are a superhero. Who did you give the votes to?
Well, we'll put them up here. Zach got 4, of course, because I gave him 1 point. It was just an unbelievable day's riding, just perfect brilliant in every way. Yui got 2. They were just nice rides at Happy Valley, good rides. I gave Angus 2 for that ride, Smart Beauty. Now, Derek just judged this horse so well, Victor, the winner. They run a 22.95 in the middle. Most races over 1,200, 21.7, 21.8. He's gone over a second, which is like 7-8 lengths slower than normal for him. Fantastic. Karras at Happy Valley, have a look at his 2 rides, just perfect. Tomador, what's it called?
Tomodachi Kokoro.
That's it. Good on you. I'm glad you're here. Otherwise, I'd be lost. Drew Gate 12, 1 back, 1 out. And the ride before that was sensational. Now, the Milo doesn't get many chances, but geez, he's riding well at Happy Valley. And that was at Sha Tin. He gave that a beautiful ride.
I think he's riding well in general.
He's riding well in general, and he like we say, there's a couple of them, and they don't get much of a chance. But I think the boys overall are riding so much better and so well now to like 3-4 years ago.
And the leaderboard in the Idol after week 17 looks like this. Zachary Purton on the top there with 19 points. 3 clear of Hubert on 16, Karras Teton on 13 and Vincent Ho 11. The big 4 are flexing their muscles at the moment. Derek Leung down there got a couple of votes, and so did Matty Poon.
Yeah, they did.
He got a good ride on Wednesday night. What was it? Circuit 1,000-metre race.
Circuit 7.
Circuit 7. Little opportunity for your little Angus Chung to overtake Vincent Ho while he's on the sidelines too. So, to get the leading local, that'll be an interesting battle in itself.
That will be a wonderful battle for racing's highest individual honour in the Idol. Yep. Let's pivot towards world racing. Quick look at the global racing scene, and Hutchi, we previewed the Met meeting, the Cape Met meeting over in South Africa, and let's relive the wonderful win by a horse called Double Superlative. This was a Whirlpool meeting. Turnover was 248.8 million Hong Kong dollars.
Yeah, it was. I watched a fair bit of this meeting, and this was an exciting finish. Got up right late in the race. We haven't booked our ticket yet, but we're going next year.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
And
Triple Trio Tours.
Good performance. And hopefully a few of you found the winner. Of course, Lyle tipped us into one at the meeting too that we highlighted earlier in the show. So it looks like a great meeting.
End of January as well, the Pegasus World Cup on turf. And Shane, your man, Ryan Moore, showed yet again why he's the genius. And guess what? He went to the rail. He just owns that rail.
Watch this ride. This is unbelievable. Drew wide, come across, 1 back, 1 out. Perfect position, but he let the horse inside of him go down the back so he could get to the fence. I was speaking to Ryan at Miami Airport, he was, after the race, and I said, mate, why would you do that for? And he goes, what do you mean? I said, why would you go to the fence and ride like that for? He said, but it won the race. I said, yeah, but on this racing show I do, I say you're the best and you do it and you're so good. And they say I'm talking about you as though I give you favours all the time. Right? So you've got to stop doing it so I don't. What a ride. Look here, he's got up side third fence and he was never going to leave the fence. Anyone else rides it doesn't win. Have a look here.
Yeah.
And there's no room. There's just no room, and he just gets his head up here. Look at this. Like, it's just the shortest way home, and it won the race otherwise. And here's something, Richo. If it wasn't for him, that horse wouldn't have been running there. So
right.
Sometimes jockeys make a difference, and a big difference. That horse was going to stud, to justify, right, after the international in Hong Kong. And Ryan said to them, well, this horse is flying, I'm telling you. Why not run it in the Pegasus grass over 2,000 metres? It's going to be in America going to stud, and it's only going to take an extra month. So they did. So it was kind of Ryan's advice and the ride that won the race.
Ties in with the Hong Kong form too, from back in December, and went very slow in that race, so clear excuses. I tell you what, the jockey in front there that rolled off, that was, he certainly provided a lovely opportunity for Ryan there.
Yeah, just blew the whistle. Maya card, Dr. Grace or something comes to mind.
My card imprimatur, mate.
That's right. I knew he'd remember. Hey, just on warm heart, she retires now, 11 races, 6 wins, 3 Group 1s, and she's got an Australian connection. She's, of course, a daughter of Sea Siren. And Sea Siren was a Group 1 winning sprinter here. And Shane, with that combination and what we've seen with Warm Heart and the endurance blood that they've injected into her, we've got an outstanding Group 1 winning Oaks filly there.
Well, Justifiers are flying, aren't they, Richo, from what I see?
Yeah.
You follow it more than me, the breeding, and they can sprint, they can stay a bit. So he's a big success. And, of course, his first progeny were only last season, and he had one of the best 2-year-olds. So he's throwing a lot of 2-year-olds also.
Yeah, so bring it on. She's going to have a wonderful career at stud. Well done. And that, Ryan Moore, was an absolute masterclass. Talking about masterclasses, let's join the fourth member of the Triple Trio. I'm convinced we need to change the name. Nicole Purton. Well, let's inject a little bit of class into the show. Many people would know Lindsay Vonn as one of the most famous downhill skiers in Olympic history. Well, we've got Hong Kong's version of it in Nicole Purton, who joins us now. Hello, Nick. I believe that you've been hitting the slopes with great style.
Yes. Hi, guys. I have some new accessories to carry around at the moment. 2 very ugly pairs of crutches. But, whatever. The holiday was fun, so I guess it was worth it.
Nicole,
what happened?
Nicole, at least you've both got blonde hair.
That's right.
Well, trust me, with my skiing ability, that's the only thing we have in common because I hit that snow like a ton of bricks. And unfortunately, I've damaged my knee, so now I only have one good knee.
You didn't take Casper with you and drag him down the hill when you were going down, did you?
No, I heard
he was telling me how good a skier he was.
Well, that's partly the problem of why I injured myself because I thought I was going really well as well until I wasn't. So anyway, these things happen.
If anyone can make crutches work, it is Nicole Purton.
For sure.
Is there a Gucci or Armani version of crutches?
I'm sure there is.
Well, no, not that. Zach's obviously called ahead and made sure that I shan't be allowed to purchase any of those. I've just got some. The hospital that I've been going to, they've been looking after me, so they've given me some. But I must admit, I hate returning things, but I can't wait to give these back.
Fair enough. Hey, just quickly reflecting on Zach. What a Sunday performance that was.
It was great, wasn't it? And it was really nice. I had the kids there, so especially Cash. I think he likes getting in a winning photo more than me. But actually, after Beato won, Zach gave Cash the trophy, and then Cash insisted on trying to take the trophy into every other winning photo for the rest of the day. And I kept saying, that's not how it works. You can't take a different horse's trophy into another winning photo. But no, they had a ball and it was great, and Zach had a great day. So we're very proud of him as always.
Yeah, beautiful work. So we were so proud of him and what he was able to achieve, and we'll get him back on the show very shortly. But not only are you here to give us your update in regards to your skiing injuries, it's also as we build up towards the start of this unbelievable 4-year-old series, the road towards the Hong Kong Derby. So, Hutch, the 4-year-old classic series. We kick off with the Hong Kong Classic Mile.
Yeah, first leg
of
the series. I think it's a good field at the top end. I think, as usual, there's a couple of queried runners, but Helios Express is going to start a short price favourite. I've got him marked at $1.80. Helene Feeling for Zach's got a very good chance. He's got the ratings and his peak figures are excellent, but he is back to a mile and I think he'd be better over further. So I've got him equal second pick with Fallon, who is also quite an exciting prospect. So, yeah, I think Cha Cheng will run well in a race that lacks pace, but Helios will be a clear favourite.
So, Nicole, you've been out and about catching up with all of the key contenders. And can we start with the horse that's going to be, no doubt, the short price favourite in Helios Express?
Helios Express trialled last Friday, and I spoke to Hugh Bowman after that hit out to hear what he thought about the horse.
I was really pleased with him, Nicole. It's now the third time I've been on his back, and I thought the trial this morning was quite an improvement on the trial that he gave me in the lead up to his last victory. So I think his fitness levels have increased, and he's a bit more relaxed in his manners with that recent race start under his belt. So I think we can expect an improved performance.
And what do you like about your horse's form for the Classic Mile?
Well, he's got excellent form since coming to Hong Kong. He's obviously a multiple winner. He's a very consistent horse, and he's the highest rated horse going into the race. So yeah, there's a lot of confidence around him, but with that comes the expectation and pressure of dealing with that. But look, I'm very comfortable with where the horse is at, and yeah, looking forward to the race.
Hutch, what did you make of that trial?
I thought it was really good.
Looks outstanding, doesn't he?
Yeah, I have to take on board what Huey said there about how he feels. The horse was impressive last start. And look, there's one or two that'll make a race this time for him, but he's the highest rated horse, and they always run well, Shane, don't they? The horses that are up the sort of top of the ratings, and he's proven over the mile too. So
He doesn't have many faults.
Simple as that. Full stop. Exclamation mark, in fact. Well,
He'll be winning.
A horse that you mentioned as a possible Quinella play was Fallon.
Yes.
And Nicole, I believe that you were in touch with connections there.
Regarding Fallon, I spoke with his rider Keith Young to ask him about what he's liked about the horse's 2 Hong Kong wins.
I say the turn of foot, like both of time, like it came from nowhere and like a place almost impossible to win, and like that really, as a jockey, you'll be riding a horse like that. It always like gives you the adrenaline. It just like pumps. It just like really feeling so nice.
And how do you assess your chances in the race?
It depends on the pace. Like if the pace is good enough, and then I say here we have a very good chance.
Do you see good pace in the race to help out, Keith?
I don't think it matters. I think if they go slow, he'll be fine because he's got the best turn of foot in the race.
Okay.
Yeah, he can power home. He's what he doesn't want them to do is string out mid-race, and then he's got a lot more lengths to make up. But he's a horse with a devastating turn of foot, and he's only going to get better, I think, over a little bit further. In fact, I think if they go slower, it'll help him more.
So he could knock off Helios Express if they go slow, you're thinking?
Yeah, I think with
With
the right set of circumstances. But he's a really exciting horse, Fallon, and it sounded like Keith there, Nicole's pretty happy to be on him, and he gives him a great thrill. So he's the bit of the X factor in the race.
Yeah, he is. I think it's nice for Keith to get this opportunity, and I wished him all the best, but he's very excited, and I guess we'll see what happens on Sunday. I really like the horse. He's actually my pick for the day as well. So, but yeah, all the best to Keith.
We had Lyle Hewitson on the show last week, Nicole, and he's got a key contender.
Yes, so I spoke to Lyle after he galloped Chan Cheng Glory for Francis Loy, and just wanted to hear about how the horse felt leading into the Classic Mile.
Yeah, he's a horse that gives you a lovely feel in the morning, so he's always impressive. He's got a lovely big action on him. He does everything right, changes legs at the correct time, and I think his form has just shown that he's very consistent. So, yeah, very happy with how he's progressed and how he's going into this race.
Key contender in the race, but when we analyse the field, you've got a dominant favourite. What sort of price do you think? $1.80?
Yeah, he's going to be. Yeah, well, I think he'll be around that quote, but I'd be happy to have something on the others in the race. I mean, here is my market. I mean, the big plus for Chan Cheng Glory is Lyle's not going to get too much pressure in the lead. Zach's going to probably go forward on Helene Feeling, but he's 1,800 back to a mile, and I don't think he'll want to overdo it. I may this is my early rated price, I may shorten Fallon in a bit. He's the one that I really think has got a lot of upside. I might get him closer to sort of $5, but Helios is going to be a good favourite. And of course, this was his win, Shane, last start, Helios Express. And what did you make of it?
Outstanding, very impressive. I've just got him winning. I think $1.80 is generous. I think he'll be less. He's a nice horse, this. Whether he runs the 2,000 metres, that's debating, but Huey did say he's starting to relax more, so he could, but over a mile here, he's going to be extremely hard to beat. He should be winning. He's got the rating. The other horse I know's looked good. We don't know what his rating is, the other horse, but he'll get back and he'll run on. But whether he can pick this horse up, you got to remember, this horse has run a 21.7 for his last 400 before, which is flying. Not many horses break 22, but this horse can.
Yeah, and Nicole, Zach rides Helene Feeling. As we look at its replay of its last start, is Zach confident that he could knock off a fave?
He's always confident, Richo, but must admit, Zach doesn't give much away, and I certainly don't ask him, especially not leading into a big race. So got to be in it to win it.
Yeah, I think the good thing about Helene Feeling, he's got premier sort of speed figures on it. That was a high rating race, Happy Together. That is a far better rating race than what Helios Express did. They went very quick in that event, and for Helene Feeling to stick on like that was enormous. He's going to be a big chance, I think, going forward to the Derby. The little query is back to the mile, but he will not be far away. He also has a high rating.
And James McDonald jumps on a plane to ride again. He rides How Deep Is Your Love with John Size.
I'll be taking him on all day. I don't think he'll get a mile. And I thought his run over 14, Shane, was only plain. So he was one that the market will be short on him, and I'll be happy to be the other side. And my theory is I just don't think he'll see out the mile.
Yeah, I don't know about that. If you have a look at his first up run over 1400, two times, well, his first run 14, he ran it right out. The other day he was in a position where he had no hope, and it was a very strong race, and he had 130 or 129 pounds, and he got back and wide. He didn't quicken as well as I thought he would, but he didn't stop. If he gets a nice run, I can see him running third or fourth or something like that, but he has got James McDonald on, so who knows?
Helios Express, a clear top selection for you, Shane?
Oh, mile in front. He wins.
Yeah, I don't think it's a mile in front for me. I think it's a lot more competitive than that, but I've got to be a clear favourite all the same.
And Nicole?
Yeah, like I said, it is hard to go past Helios, but I do like Fallon, so guess we'll see Sunday afternoon, won't we?
Hey, and good news is you've got another young Aussie lass to hang out with. Stephanie Thornton's about to jump on or Stephanie Thompson, jump on the plane, come and join Ben. So you've got to make sure you educate Harry. Young Harry's only a little baby. You've got to educate Steph. You've got a big job coming up.
I did read that they were coming over, so it would be nice to meet them. And yeah, my kids, I've got them off to school, so I'll leave that up to Steph to get with a toddler. I'm happy to have the toddler days over, but I'm sure I'll be more than happy to lend a hand. But yeah, no, looking forward to meeting them.
Carl, I was just speaking to Ben, and I gave him a bit of advice about Hong Kong. I said, keep your wife away from Nicole, otherwise it could be a very expensive flight.
I don't like these rumours you're spreading about me. Albeit they're true, but I still don't like you spreading them.
You take your role as liaison officer very seriously, Nicole. That's the key. Thanks so much for all your work during the week, mate. Rest up. Lindsay Vonn, let's make sure these injuries go away quickly, will you?
Yes, I agree. I'm very much... The arms are getting a good workout, so hopefully that's one thing that'll come out of it. But no, thanks for the well wishes.
Yeah, beautiful work. Thanks for joining us today. Nicole Purton, once again, joining us on the Triple Trio. All right, let's continue to find some winners at Sha Tin on Sunday. Other races to analyse on Sunday at Sha Tin after we've looked at the Classic Mile. Let's go back to race number 8 here, Hutch, and this is the Centenary Vase.
The Centenary Vase has a deep history in Hong Kong, usually a good race. It's a lot better race this year than it has been, I think, in more recent seasons, but a purple patch horse is number 6, Happy Together. He is flying for Frank Law. What a job he's done. I've got him a $3.95 favourite. 5G Patch, another lightweight chance, $6. I think Sword Point, who failed at the Valley against a lot in the January Cup, which is a key form reference, he can bounce back at Sha Tin. And La City Blanche is also in the mix. 6, 11, 5 and 13 with Happy Together. And Shane, this was a great win off a strong speed. We saw it with Helene Feeling. But Happy Together is going the right way, and he gets a great run in transit again.
He's just flying, this horse, this season. He's just every win you say, can he do it again? And he does it again. He's only got 118 pounds. Gate 2, he's going to get a great run. Here's Straight Aaron. Now, I was wrong about this horse last start. I said he pulled up with blood, and he didn't. Right. Don't know how I made that mistake, but I made a mistake. He was disappointing last start. Maybe he was too close over a mile. 135 pounds is very hard against some of these horses on 115 to 118, Clint. That's how I'm looking at it. They've just got so much weight off them when they're going good, some of these horses.
I couldn't agree more, and I found him a difficult one to price, Straight Aaron, because he's got the class. He's against Group 1 horses there, but as we see so often in Hong Kong, these handicap conditions, when there's not much over a few of them, it's key. And he meets some rivals for not big margins, and there's a few different races, but there's, say, anywhere between 7 and 9 kilos difference. For less than
it's
2
huge.
weeks.
It's unbelievable.
It's too much.
Keep in mind, though, I mean, the replay we just showed, that's against the very best.
Yeah.
And where we picked up the replay was actually after he got really unlucky. When he was making momentum, he was stopped in his
He
tracks.
could be the winner of the race. I mean, it's
Correct.
a feasible thing. All that said, this is a handicap. Happy Together does map really well. I think Nimble Nimbus is an interesting one. He could go out at a decent price. He's not as good as them, but under the handicap conditions at $12, he can be entertained because it's a favourable map for him. And like I said, sword point to bounce back. But yeah, some of these handicap races over this type of distance, a lot of it, Shane, might just get down to who gets the right run. But I think with Happy Together, it doesn't really matter. He can sit close, he can sit back, and he's in great form. And he only carries 1.5 kilos more than what he did in the January Cup.
Even Champion Dragon, if you have a look at his form, his best form is 1,800 metres at Sha Tin. Now, last start, he didn't jump well, he got back. You have a look at him in the straight. He kept coming in the straight. And before that, he was racing really well in strong races. If he gets a soft lead here, and looking at this, he probably could, unless Money Catcher or something wants to go like that. But with 115, he's going to keep going. I know he hasn't got the class, Clint, and I'm not saying he's going to win, but that's what I'm saying, how strong the race is with these horses with no weight. It's a very good race, and I think it's going to be hard for Straight Aaron, but if he won, it's not going to be a surprise because we know he's got the ability. But I've definitely got Happy Together like you have on top.
Yeah, and if you want the data of all those sort of these years and previous years, what I lean on quite often, and we showed it with reference to at Sahil Race Quant earlier. And of course, Sahil is a San Francisco-based handicapper who just does a remarkable job with all these different data sets that he brings to the game. And he has incredible records which you can go back and search. So we thank him. He often helps out the show. He helped us out early in the show with the 6 winners with Zach Purton, etc., and all those stats. But yeah, we've got to give him a special mention because we're very thankful for everything that he provides.
See in October, just using this as a way, tick over run, get to 2,400
He won this race last year, but it was a small field.
Yeah,
and
it's luck going as well.
I could never find him.
And Sword Point?
I think he'll bounce back.
Okay.
But he was ordinary against a few of these at the Valley in the January Cup. That's the query. But the weight swings are big in his favour here.
Okay, so Happy Together. Let's move forward to race number 10. And as always, we finish with a toughie. And that's
this is a good race.
It's always a good race, the Lucky Last. And you're with the Gum Stuff.
Gummy. Know a few of those. But look, Magniac's in winning form. Cha-Ching Prince, really interesting booking with Zach Purton on top. Seasons Wit, who Zach's been associated with. Guess who gets on him? Hugh Bowman. So this is a great race, and it doesn't end there. I've got the top 4 chances. We liked Gummy this day against Galaxy Patch in terms of, we had him shorter than the market. I made a mistake, should have made it a good exact or Quinella play. But he is flying, and he's a better dirt horse. So I think at the weights, he's in there with a big chance. It's a pretty sort of proven lineup that he beat on the turf there. He meets a couple back on the all-weather, but he's got a big chance. And then we've got Seasons Wit. Shane, I think Exponential had his birthday here, but Cha-Ching was good, and I think Seasons Wit will run a big race. Your thoughts?
Yeah, he can. I totally agree with you with Gummy. Gate 1, he's going to box seat, and he loves the dirt. His dirt form's so much better in grass, and he went so well last start. So I think he's the horse to beat. What's he got, 117 or something? He's going to be favourite for sure. Naturally, Seasons Wit last start was disappointing, but it was 1,000 metres, which he probably doesn't like, up the straight. His form is always around a bend. Now, he went really well last start, the last time on the dirt, as you saw. And, of course, he's had a very easy trial since then, and he trialled well. But I've got Gummy on top, and I think he's just going to get the right run, and he always kicks that horse on the dirt.
Interesting point you brought up as well. At home, when you're doing the form, you've got to forgive them the odd run. We talked about Seasons Wit down the straight, Shane there.
Yep.
Went out, didn't go well, and Victor the Winner was another one. He was well beaten down the straight, came out, circumstances in his favour on the weekend and beat the world's highest sprinter. So you've got to just forgive him on occasions.
Yeah, totally agree. So that's our look at race number 10. Best bet time?
Best bet time. We're looking forward to this week. I really like this meeting. I think you've got to get involved, so make sure you check out. It's free if you're first signing up, hutchieshonkers.com. But my best of the day is actually in the penultimate race from the last few races I've had a look at. Great run recently. Sunlight Power, I think he gets a more economical run around this time. And look, I think he's been building towards a win. He sticks to 1400. He can win single Quinellas with top scorer for John Size and Zach Purton and Master Tornado. Outside of that, I think Happy Together will win and Gummy Gummy. So I like the close to the program. And for those in Australia, they might even get involved in those quaddie legs. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy pretty happy with the card.
There's been some good quaddie dividends in Australia with the Hong Kong racing at the moment.
Hopefully we can get as good a dividend as we did, or have as good a day as we did last week. It was a tough day, but there were some nice results speckled through the card.
Did you back Victor the winner last week, Clint?
Not on strategy, but late doors I did chime in because we had him marked $20. Shane, and he went out at 40, so there was something small on.
You did, Shane?
I did. I texted you just before as they jumped. I was on him. I couldn't believe the odds. I didn't think he'd win. I thought Lucky Schwaz would win, but when he was $38, and if WizKid was going to sit off him, he got his chance, but he shouldn't have been $38, and you brought that up, Clint, so it was a good call, but just sitting there watching it, I thought, shit, this is over the odds, and he was. My best bet this week, although none of them really win, these best bets are mine. You're too good for me, Clint. Yours always do. I'll go race 4, Skyheart. How's that?
Yep.
Yeah, his last run was very good. He should have won for sure last start. There's no risk. Got gate 14, and it's a hard race. Like you've got that horse that you brought up a couple of weeks ago, California National.
Yeah,
and I Can. Yeah. So there's a couple, and Foolish Heart's going a bit better than his form route. So there's a few there, but he'll be winning. And of course, the other one is the Classic Mile.
Yeah, but box those up maybe in a Quinella as well.
Quinella, that's right.
Banker Sky Heart.
1, 4, and 8. You can box them up together. A couple of Sid files with Shane's best bet. That sounds a plan.
It's going to be a good meeting. Get involved.
An absolute beauty. Of course, you can join in with hutchieshonkers.com. Full analysis, race by race. You get subscribe for one meeting or for the whole year, whatever you need to do.
Whatever you need to do.
And make sure you give us a like on social medias and get involved in the conversation. Shane loves feedback. So we pass on all the feedback that it comes, and you love it, Shane. You want to hear what the public think.
And I never hear any. What?
And the public love him. They love him.
This is going to be good.
Shane, I'll make sure he's in pants next week as well, because we can't have any more of that boxers.
Yeah, pants.
I was going to say, how are you? You're not traumatised now after last week sitting there with no real pants on and showing his neck?
I had to have a word with the techies to tell him he's got to get fully dressed this week.
Mate, don't worry. When you've got legs like these, mate, you want to bring them out for everyone to enjoy. Golden Boy, great show, mate. Look forward to chatting to you next week, and good luck on Sunday.
See you later, boys.
Great to have Shane Dyes, part of our Triple Trio family. Good luck on Sunday,
Good luck,
my friend. Hutchieshonkers.com. Make sure you join us.